Hello, Rough Rider Nation, and welcome to this edition of the Rider Report, the ins and outs of Yavapai College athletics. I'm Brad Clifford, the athletic director at Yavapai College, and I'm joined today by our head volleyball coach, Zach Shaver. Zach, welcome back to the program.
Good morning.
Well, this past fall, the Rough Riders finished the season with a 15-13 overall record and third consecutive trip to the NJCAA region playoffs, so it was a good fall season for us, but now we're well into the spring season. What is it that you're looking for to gain here in the off season?
We're doing lots of physical training, lots of strength and conditioning to help our players become more dynamic, and lots of recruiting, honestly, because we only have 5 returning players. So it's definitely going to be a different look squad, a lot of new players on the floor and on the roster next year. So recruiting is taking up a lot of that time, but equal amount of time in training the players too.
Now, so how is that progressing then, training the players?
Actually, it's really progressing well. Strength and conditioning is going very well. We did a lot of individual skill training the last couple weeks, and we had our first taste of competition last Friday. That didn't go quite as well as we had planned, but that really motivated our players and coaching staff to get after it and train harder this weekend as we come back from spring break.
Let's progress on that thought there.
Okay.
We scrimmaged Embry-Riddle last Friday, and how did, in your eyes, how did it go?
I was very disappointed, honestly. We came out and won game 1, and then we lost the next 4 games. Being a scrimmage, we played all 5, but it wasn't the win-loss. It was more the way we played. We did not play up to the level of skills that we have in our bag. We were lots of broken plays, lots of plays without quite the effort and the intensity that we look for. And so I think part of it was we took it for granted as players that we could beat Embry-Riddle because we've beaten them every time we play them in the fall. And this past fall, we beat them 3-0. But I also think that factored into Embry-Riddle. They are a very good team. They're the best team they've ever had. And I think they had a little bit of revenge on their mind coming back into our gym after us beating them 3-0. So they played very, very well. But I was actually happy. This was good timing for this to happen. Really kind of pushed our players to realize you can't just show up every day and be great. You have to work hard to do it.
Yeah, it's a different culture. You need to adjust to our Yavapai College culture, not what you're used to doing. Recruiting's never-ending process. Never-ending. So how's that going for the Rough Riders?
Especially when you only have 5 returning players.
Right.
So we've signed 7 so far. Lots of really good players, quite a few Arizona players, a couple players from New Mexico. We have a couple other offers extended right now that we should hear back on soon. And we have 4 or 5 more players that we're bringing in on visits pretty soon. But we've really concentrated on attacking. We have only 1 attacker returning. We have a libero, 2 attackers returning. Both of them are doing well this season, McKenna and Nika. But so lots of outside hitters, lots of middles. We're looking for some more size. And then we have kind of a special circumstance hopefully coming up here pretty soon. We have a visit right after spring break of somebody who actually signed with a very good Division I program in California, but something kind of changed in her situation and stuff, so now she's looking to stay closer to home. And so we might get a steal here in the next couple weeks.
So you talked about our sophomores, returning sophomores. We only have 5. What can we say about them here? You mentioned Nika and McKenna here.
Yeah, Nika really has taken a step up the last couple days. We've always known she has the skill level. There's obviously a cultural adjustment coming from Holland, and we've had some good discussions. And yesterday, she actually had her probably best practice she's ever had with us. Was very happy with her, very proud, talked to her about it afterwards and said, if we can keep you at that level consistently, then you're in contention for first team all-conference. McKenna's kind of finding her groove now. It's always tough to come into a position and be behind 2 returning sophomores who were starters as freshmen. And so I think she now is accepting that role, and now it's her turn to get after it and be a leader in the middle. And so she had a good practice yesterday also. And then the other returners, we have Kanani, who's our starting setter this year, first team all-conference. Kanani's always going to work hard and always going to be a good setter and make that position better. Ramey Hernandez is chasing her, doing well. And then Victoria McCarty, who was our starting libero, she's definitely going to have some competition next year. She had good competition this year too, but next year coming in, we have 2 freshmen already that are going to be really good liberos, putting the pressure on her.
That libero position is I've found as I'm watching volleyball more and more, is very crucial for on a team. A very good libero.
Yeah, a good libero can kind of be the X factor.
Yeah.
They can stop the other team's best hitter sometimes, but if they have that more aggressive leadership quality in them, then they can be a player that takes a team from being good to being excellent.
I go back a few years ago to Brooke Donnelly. Of course, she was a great libero for us. So that's what you're looking for,
Yeah.
I guess.
Actually, just saw Brooke a couple weeks ago. She was down here. She's coaching a club team up in Flagstaff and has been down here coaching at our gym twice. And she's about to graduate here in a couple months from NAU. So real proud of her, too.
Fantastic. Let's talk about our sophomores that have committed. We've got some commits out of them.
Yeah, 2 of our sophomores have already committed. Both Bailey Stevens and Madeline McCune have both verbally committed to a Division II school, which is Quincy in Illinois. Good program, plays in a very tough region. Actually, they brought in 3 or 4 of our players on visits, and they offered all of them. I think the other 2 are going to choose a couple other places, but Jalen Butler and Juliet Tigret, outside hitter and setter, both have multiple offers on the table, and they're really having a tough time deciding because they're all good offers, good locations. So I feel like they're going to probably both decide over spring break here coming up. And then Lauren Ulabari just had some good visits. She just visited Metro State in Denver, which is a top 10 Division II program. Right now she's on the top of their list, but they have one more visit, so hopefully that's going to work out for her. I know she was very excited about that one. And then Caitlin Yost would be the last one. Caitlin has about 50 schools right now, honestly, that are after her, and so we're in the process of narrowing that down to really find like the top 5, and then she's going to continue to take some visits and get that selection done. Hers may be a little bit later, probably closer to late March, early April, just because there's so many that are after her.
She has a lot of tools, a lot of upside, I guess, in her game.
Yep.
We didn't mention Hannah, of course. She signed already.
Yes, Hannah Simone, one of our sophomore Libros, actually was already recruited and signed back in November, early December, and she's playing at a Division II school now, Texas A&M International, out in Laredo. And I just ran into, on the recruiting trail, her head coach and assistant coach there. They love having her on the team. She's just as hardworking there and stuff, and she's really fitting into their program well. So I'm excited to see what she's going to do this upcoming fall.
Very good. Academically, you always do a great job. The volleyball players traditionally do a good job in the classroom. And can you share with the Rough Rider Nation here what you and your assistant Jennifer Van Vliet do for the student athlete as far as academics go?
Really, it's just mentoring, putting them in positions to learn how to manage their time better and learn how to study harder. Some of the things we do with where our study hall is located and how we do it, it's more individualized. It's not a group effort. They're not just coming together in a classroom as volleyball players and sitting there studying. We try to put them in situations where we can eliminate the distractions that normal college students have, whether it's their roommates, their phone, all the other things going on in their lives. We even joke about the pillows calling their name a lot of times if they study in their room. So the Learning Center here on campus is probably the biggest part of that. And then we meet with them weekly just to kind of go over where they are in each of their classes, what they're struggling with, what's going well, set up appointments with their professors if they need to. And that's a big part. You know, today's generation isn't comfortable going and talking to an authority figure. But if you talk to any college professor, one of the keys to being successful is going to office hours. And so we really push them to do that at least 2 or 3 times a semester.
Yeah, they like to text. This generation likes to text instead of face-to-face.
Yep. So we're trying to help them grow past that and realize that they're not going to be able to communicate with everybody that they meet from here on out electronically. So
exactly. All right, so what does our scrimmage schedule look like here going on? I think we have 3 more.
Yeah, we do. So coming up right after spring break on Friday, March 23rd, we're only going to have 3 practices after spring break. We've got a couple of teams from our conference and Embry-Riddle, and I think 1 or 2 of the other NAIA schools here in Arizona will be joining us also. So we'll have 4 to 6 teams in the gym. Kind of a very informal, we'll probably just play a couple games against each team. It'll be a good test to see if we've improved since that last Embry-Riddle scrimmage. And then kind of our big one on the calendar just a week or so, or 2 weeks later, is Saturday, April 7th. We have Grand Canyon, NCAA Division I school, coming up here to our gym to scrimmage. Usually we have 3 teams. The other team had to pull out, so we're searching for another team right now. But if not, we'll do like we did against Embry-Riddle, and we'll play all 5 games against Grand Canyon. So that speaks a lot about to where we are, you know, that they're willing to come up here, an NCAA Division I school to a junior college, and not only look at our players to recruit, but to play against us. If they knew they were going to beat us easily, they wouldn't come up here.
Of course.
And then we finish up, the last one will actually be on the road. Late April, we'll be down at South Mountain Community College for, it's mostly conference teams that are there usually, and just kind of an informal scrimmage too to kind of wrap up the spring season.
Very good. So we got a busy spring season, but a very productive one, it sounds like.
Hopefully. We still are about half point right now, midpoint. So I know they're all looking forward to spring break. Obviously, some of them got their feet out the door already, but as soon as they get back, it's going to be pretty intense for about 4 to 5 weeks. And we just did some physical testing this week, and so we've really shown them that the hard work is paying off. Everybody's jump went up 1 to 2 inches. 2 of our players actually just broke some of our team records Madeline McCune just block touched 9 feet 2 inches, which is the highest ever. That record's been there since my first year here 5 years ago. And then McKenna actually just broke Jaylen's power clean record already the first time she's ever tested by 2 pounds. So, and she'll continue to go up this spring. So that testing just really shows them that the work they're putting in is making them better athletes.
Very good. Well, you do a great job, Zach. We appreciate you being on the staff here and what you do for the volleyball program, especially our student athletes. So thank you for being here today.
Thank you.
We want to make sure everybody follows us. Follow the Rough Rider News on www.goroughriders.com. Follow us on Facebook, on Twitter. And as always, Rough Rider Nation, go Rough Riders.